for a night of Donkey Kong. In other words, disappointment, because I'm lucky if I can get 120,000 on this game, but that's all right. I got some Great Notion Brewing Juice Junior here, and I'm gonna go ahead and pour that in my Alvarado Street brewery glass. So Great Notion Brewing, I think they're out of Portland, Oregon, somewhere up there. I don't know, I can't read this. My vision is gone in my old age. So I'm just going to give this a pour. There's some really good stuff. They just started distributing this in the Northern California area. Looks a bit hazy, I'd say. Juice Junior. That screen looks a little wrong. I don't know what that's all about. It says gack sex. I don't know. Yeah, that's some good stuff right there. Well, I guess I'm up for a night of some Donkey Kong action. Why not? Oh, hey, it's you again. How's it going? I'm hamming it up. Why not? Okay, so this is my second video from almost a year ago that I need to go ahead and get edited out. So it's pairing up. I think it's called Westy Kong out of Australia, from a good friend of mine, Jerry, aka DJ Flask, out of Australia. I was super excited. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it out. He had the flight booked and everything. He was going to be staying the night at my house, just 2 nights from now, and doing the arcade hangout with our friends. And then we were going to be flying out to Idaho for Grinkfest. So, Jerry, I'm sorry you couldn't make it, but you'll be there in spirit, all right, buddy? So, anyways, I kind of wanted to get this video out as soon as I could. I'm going to barely squeak it out before leaving for my trip, because I literally leave in 3 days. So, yeah, it's Donkey Kong is the pairing. And again, this one was done in our Airbnb that we were at in Eagle, Idaho. We did an off-site beer pairing. It's just a bit too loud inside the arcade. Not a complaint. It's an awesome observation, actually. So we did our pairing out of the Airbnb, and so I think I'll just talk about the gameplay a little bit. But before that, I do want to show a couple things. So, oh, and by the way, I'm Gak, and this is Arts and Craft with Gak, where I like to pair up a tasty beverage with, like I said, art projects or gaming stuff. You know, it could be anything. You know, that's the craft is the beer, and arts is the gaming or projects or whatever. So. Yeah, so I did want to talk about a couple other beers I got up here. That's good stuff. So my buddy Adam G, he actually got me these beers. So these will be future beer pairings, hopefully very soon. I've actually had this for a few months. But yeah, Adam, thank you so much for hooking me up with this. This is like super hard to find, and you got to know some of the right people. So it's Hoof-Hearted Brewing, and it's called Conky Dong. And note the placement of the barrel hole there. And this one is I think a quadruple IPA. It's 9.5%. I don't know. I think I would call that between a double and a triple IPA. But yeah, so, and someone else made an appearance there on the beer. I don't know. Why not, right? So yes, Conky Dong. I think I'm going to pair that up with Donkey Kong Remix, which is a really cool game made by John Kowalski. and I'll try to do my best to give him credit on that. He's done an amazing job with it, what he's done. And then we've also got this one. Thank you also to Adam G. This is called Danky Jr. So basically Donkey Kong Jr. IPA. The colors, they kind of changed up a little bit. I don't know if you can kind of see there, the Donkey Kong's green. And I'm not even sure what this brewery is. GB, whatever that stands for. Man, I cannot make that out. Anyway, so that one we'll probably do Donkey Kong Jr. remix with the Donkey Kong Jr. or Danky Jr. IPA. So again, thank you, Adam G, for hooking me up with that one. The Conky Dong he got for me maybe 3-4 months ago now, and this was probably about 2 months ago. So I just haven't been able to get to pairing those. So a couple other things I did want to talk about with Grinkfest coming up here. I talked about the GAC built brand that I am doing some sponsorship stuff. So I'm bringing some goodies out for the prize table at this year's Grinkfest. I did last year as well. So I'm going to try to see if I can make this work. Okay, so one of the items that I've been working on, just, related to game room artwork, setting the mood of your game room for fun, So if you wanted to have artwork on your wall, whether it's, side art or posters, whatever it might be, could be a mural on your wall, whatever. You want to maybe put some light on it, so when your arcade is kind of dark, where you just show your games, you want to have some light kind of projected up onto that artwork. So the idea here is this art bar basically just mounts onto the wall, and it's got an LED light strip. And just, for example, here's an awards that I got, by the way. So I don't know if this will be too blown out, too bright, but this is actually from the very first Grinkfest. It wasn't actually called Grinkfest back then, and it was the Arcade Outsiders, awesome podcast that unfortunately is no longer around, but for a few years there, it was a lot of fun, and they hosted the first few there at Grinkers, and they had a few different tournaments, and this one actually was the Nintendo, which kind of ties into the Donkey Kong here. I actually got first place on it, so that's not saying much. There weren't that many people playing that year. It was the first year Grinkfest happened, so there was maybe 30-ish people. Now we have upwards of 150 people and very competitive players. So for the first year, though, that was really cool that I actually got first place on the Nintendo Challenge, the Ninty Challenge as they called it. And so that was, I think, Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers, Donkey Kong 3 maybe, something like that. I'm not sure exactly, 3 or 4 games, but yeah. So anyways, just kind of give you an idea of what the light bar does there. So, if you don't have light on it versus having some light on it, I'm kind of trying to angle this right. But, imagine any other poster or side art. But yeah, so that's one of the items. The next item I want to talk about that I'll have there as a prize, I've talked about this before, is the reproduction Cloak and Dagger control panel. So this is actually designed to fit a Defender style cabinet. This is all CNC punched and has pressed in studs, so you can hide the hardware that's normally you see the carriage bolts, the heads of the carriage bolts sticking out the artwork. It tends to kind of mess up the artwork a little bit. My personal preference, I don't like it. But yeah, so what I did here is I had those studs pressed in, and then what's included with that will be, so there's a foam strip that goes on the back along this edge that it actually sits up against the marquee on that game. So the foam pad is part of what was originally done. And then I included the hardware, the mounting hardware for the joysticks. So it has dual joysticks, and then there's I think it's an ignite button, and then player 1, player 2 start. So just to give you an idea, this artwork is not included, but I do have a set for myself made by This Old Game. So this one was actually die cut in advance to match up. But there it gives you an idea of what it'll look like. So you'd have a pair of joysticks there, a pair of 8-way joysticks, and one button for the ignite, the player 1, player 2 start. So yeah, this is what it'll be. This control panel, like I said, it's an American-made CNC punched sheet metal, powder coated, has all the appropriate brackets and everything. So the next thing I want to talk about is these are my backlit marquee light boxes. So these are designed to fit actual marquees that were on games. So a lot of us collectors, we wind up having extra marquees, or we want to have artwork from the games. We don't have enough space for all the games. So this makes a neat effect to where you can actually have a backlit marquee. It's LED, so I can, you can adjust the brightness. Hopefully this is not too bright. But this one, even though it says Junior Pac-Man, this is what it'll be with. This is actually sized to fit Nintendo style, Nintendo Classic marquees. So like Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Jr., DK3. So yeah, this one was actually a game I bought many years ago. A Donkey Kong was actually converted to Junior Pac-Man, so I still have this marquee, so I'm including that on the back. It has mounting keyhole slots, so you can. It's basically 16 inches on center. You put the screws on the wall, make sure it's level, and then those just slot onto there. So yeah, Junior Pac-Man, and it's actually a Donkey Kong style. So if you want to swap out the marquee to Donkey Kong or whatever Nintendo size cabinet marquee you might have that you want that's different, you can do that. Okay, on to the next one. I actually have 3 marquee light boxes I'm doing for Grinkfest as the prize pool. I'm doing 4 light bars for the artwork, and then the control panel, reproduction control panel for Cloak and Dagger. So this one is actually a Tato sized marquee. So think Zookeeper, Jungle Hunt, Kicks, those kind of games. That's what this is sized for. I actually had a game that was converted. It was a Jungle Hunt, I think, that was converted to Altered Beast. So I had this Altered Beast marquee lying around. So I'll go ahead and throw that in there. Why not? So these are actually the prototype marquee light boxes I made actually a year ago. So I'm throwing in the actual prototypes into the prize pool this year. I'm working on doing the next revision level on these, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, so Altered Beast, and it's sized to be a Tato marquee. So I figured this is a really cool artwork. I mean, you got the human to the lizard creature, whatever it is. Pretty cool, right? So yeah, so the Tato sized marquee with Altered Beast. And then the third light box I'm doing. So this one is actually Pac-Man sized marquee. So the traditional Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man or Super Pac-Man, I believe, are all this size. And there were so many conversions done to those cabinets. This is actually, it was a converted game I got back in the day too. It was a Pac-Man converted to Arkanoid. So I had this Arkanoid marquee lying around, so why not? Let's throw it in there, into the prize pool. So this is the prototype that was sized for Pac-Man. I don't know if you may have seen one of my Instagram videos. I had a Super Pac-Man marquee in this. That's what I had. But yeah, so Arkanoid, it's pretty cool art, right? So again, they're keyed mounting slots in the back, and then edge lit, LED, backlit marquee light box. So if you want to swap this out to Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man, whatever, you could always do that later. But this is what's going to be in the prize pool for Grinkfest this year. So Okay, enough of that chitter chatter. Let's go ahead and get to some gameplay. I'm going to play a little bit of Donkey Kong here. Why not? Since we're doing the pairing from a year ago. The Westy Kong out of Australia. Thank you, DJ Flask, a.k.a. Jerry. I appreciate it, buddy, and hope to see you again sometime soon. So I'm going to play a quick round of this. I don't know. We don't really need into much detail. Everybody knows Donkey Kong, right? So cheers, everyone. And I'll see you at Grinkers in a few days, whoever's going to make it. Okay. So I really have not played this. I think I played only Remix pretty much for the last year, and not that much either, to be honest. So many projects and things working on, so. So I am not a point presser. I just try to make it through levels. Now I recall hearing there's a 4-board stack version that has what they call the ladder cheat. So you can go up a ladder to avoid the barrels, and barrels will not drop on top of you. I actually used to have one of those in this cabinet, but this is actually the 2-board stack. And I did recently get, maybe 6 months ago, a 4-board stack, but I have not played it yet. It's just kind of on standby. So some people don't like to do it this way, but this is my personal preference. I like to grab the $300 extra thing at the bottom of the purse, whatever it is. So, I don't point press, but I try to get a few extra points here and there. And that didn't work out so well at all. Oh no. Go figure, right? Okay, well, I think that's good enough. I think everybody's seen Donkey Kong and knows what the gameplay is, right? I mean, there's nothing special you can't find online with someone else. So, with that said, let's go ahead and say cheers and just enjoy having fun playing your games. Drink a beverage every once in a while. Why not, right? Okay. Have fun and hope to see you at Grinkers. Woohoo! Okay, so we're going to do another beer here. We're at Grinkfest 6. We're hanging out at the Airbnb. This one I brought from a good friend of ours. He goes by DJ Flask on the forums. His name's Jerry. Mm-hmm. So he sent this special for us. It's out of Australia by Mountain Goat Brewing. It's called Westy Kong, and clearly it's a Donkey Kong, play on that. Yeah. It's a hazelnut brown ale.
Thanks, Jerry, by the way.
Yes, thanks, Jerry and Steve, by the way. Thank you guys.
Hope to see you next year.
Yeah.
Yes, Steve Grunberger, right?
Yeah.
He's the one who actually hand delivered it. Mm-hmm. We were gonna maybe try to do this at CAX a couple months ago, but just chaos always. So we're taking a moment here to do it. I actually also want to show this. DJ gave me this shirt. Mm-hmm. This was the Netherworld Kong Off, which is the Australian version of the Kong Off. I think that was our first year doing it last year.
I think it was, yeah.
And they're going to do another one next month. So thank you for the shirt again and the beer. We wish you could be here. Maybe you'll be here next year, Jerry. So
we hope you're going to be here.
Yeah,
you're going to be here next year.
You've been staying it for like 3 or 4 years.
We understand why not this year, but next year. No excuses.
So I'll open this up. So it's like I said, it's a hazelnut brown ale. So this one will be a little more
full body.
A little more punch.
What's the percentage?
I tried to look at it. I didn't see it. Yes. Let's see. So some breweries they don't. It's like depends on what the laws and restrictions are.
Yeah, might be able to check.
You could probably check on your phone. Yeah. It does not say on the bottle.
Mm.
So Westy Kong.
Westy Kong. Thank you.
All right, so I'm just gonna pour these.
Do it.
Yeah.
So of course, I think everyone knows what Donkey Kong is. That's
Donkey
like
Kong.
one of the most recognized classic arcade games of
Yeah.
all time.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to pair this up with Donkey Kong. I'll show some footage and maybe tell some history of the game. But
I remember my daughter, when I first built my MAME cabinet, she's like, I want to play Donkey Kong because that's the first time Mario was ever in a game. I got to play it. So she plays it. She's like, this game's freaking hard.
Yeah.
I go, yeah, it's not just jumping
Alright,
around.
so I wanna kinda smell
This
this.
is this got a very distinct
Wait,
flavor.
we got cheers over
Yes.
there.
Yeah, cheers.
And cheers to Jerry.
Cheers,
Jerry! Steve!
Yes.
Steve as well.
And Steve River, yes. So it definitely has a kind of robust, kind of almost coffee-like
Yeah, I was
smell.
going to say coffee.
That's actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very smooth.
So for me, my personal favorite is IPAs, any variation of IPAs. But I do enjoy these, but it's always in smaller portions. Like
Yeah.
this is perfect.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's almost like a dessert that you're having.
It's
something
almost,
like this.
it's almost,
Just that peanut butter stout. A little
yeah, it's
bit.
almost like a stout. It's kind of on the border, but it's not
Yeah.
quite as heavy.
It's a nice brown ale though, but
Yeah.
I like. That's
not quite
one of my
as-
favorite. That's
yeah.
one of my
So
favorite.
brown ale,
styles.
it's more roasted malts or something.
Yeah.
Is what
Yeah,
part of it.
typically yes, but this is.
So it tends to be a little sweeter. They don't have as much hops in it.
Yeah,
They
I
put
could
more
drink,
malt.
I mean, my favorite beer is like a good stout.
Oh, really? Okay.
Not to drink all night, but have a good stout. But
Right,
this is
yeah.
a good in between
Like to sip on.
that you could really kind of session this.
Semi-session. Yeah, I'm sure that'll catch up real quick.
I don't think you can
Yeah.
session this.
Yeah.
I'll session
Session's
one
a
and then
fair
the other
way.
go back to the bedroom.
Sleep session.
Yeah. So this is our second day at Grinkfest. Last night, I don't know.
Well,
You
it
were
was
exhausted.
interesting.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
flew in from UK, no sleep for 2 days pretty much. So he crashed a little earlier, but we were there till 3 a.m. ish.
Yeah.
A little more.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
I
a
heard
super late
this guy
night.
stumble in at 4.
Oh, it's trash.
Couldn't find his way around the room. He turned his cell phone light on, and I could only see this.
Yeah. Where am I?
And that's a big key to this whole Grinkfest thing is you have to pace yourself
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
drink water.
It's a marathon,
Make
not a
sure you
sprint.
Drink
more
more water.
water.
Drink
Yes.
and
More water.
He's guilty of forgetting the water last
know,
night, so
yeah.
he's a little rough
A
today.
little rough.
This will take the
Still-
edge off.
I'll be
maybe.
this is helping. This is helping.
Hair of the dog.
Yeah.
This is good. I like this.
Yeah, definitely. So
6.4%.
6.4%. So really not that
Yeah.
bad. All right, so I guess we'll just wrap that up. Grinkfest 6. Cheers again, guys.
Yeah.
I like
Chris,
this.
Thank you again, boys.
Thanks,
Thank you again.
Steve. Thanks, Jerry. See you next year.
You cunts.